I know I said that we'd now got a snazzy new camera and we've got all sorts of other stuff to play with, but turns out the camera's a bit crap. So back to the phone for now. Just going to quickly tear into this before anyone goes nuts. I know there's no anti-static mat here, but to be honest, if it's dead, it's dead. So let's have a look. I will try to remember not to lean into the view field. Someone has already been in here, that's never a good sign. The warranty seals are out. Now this is a very basic power over Ethernet switch. There's nothing special about it. It's quite possible it doesn't even obey the standards. A lot of these cheap switches just simply inject power onto the pairs. And some of these we found power bricks inside them. Right, what do we got? Okay, so nothing much in there. Now, I can't remember what the fault was, so bear with me. Let's get some juice. Again, if anyone's about to have a meltdown, this is an isolated supply that's going in here. So let's see what happens. We are on. We have power. Okay, so that's more than I expected. Let's go grab a test device. So we will have one of these. We need a network cable, and it looks like I don't actually have any in here, which is annoying. Or we could just try the bag labelled new network cable. Right, so here we have bog standard run-of-the-mill network cable, nothing special. So in theory, if this is working, and power light is indeed still on, so let's have a quick look, and we want, I can never see with these, LAN or switch, there we go. Right, that's in, and I can't help but notice that's not doing anything. Oh, I've knocked you there. Okay. Right, we need to see what's going on. I'm just going to pause you for a second. Right, let's bring some more test equipment to bear on this. So what we have on the side of this is a PoE test. So we can have a look in here and do a PoE test. Well, that's not entirely unexpected. Okay, so I guess the next thing we can do before we go too much farther is see if we can just get a link on that. So over here we have a network cable. This is plugged into our switch, so let's pop that in. Yeah, and the switch isn't showing a link either, so there's something really not right here. Now our choices here are actually quite limited, there's not a lot going on. Something appears to happen when you power it up, so we're kind of restricted. I'm guessing the past 5 rails are okay, we'll have a quick poke round. This probably takes 48 volts. We've got a reset button here. Does that do anything? That's really not a good sign. Right, okay. Let's see what we can find. First things first, we know there is power because something's happening. But let's just see what we've actually got. So, that immediately confuses me. This can't be a PoE switch. It's possible there's a boost regulator there, but it doesn't look like it's up to the job. 1.2 volts, so that's generating the voltages for this. That's the only regulation we've got. And indeed, down here, output 3.3 volts. So yeah, this isn't a PoE switch, it's just a normal switch, and it's dead. So we're still no closer to finding out the problem. Most likely cause is here. The rails are there. I could scope the rails, but there's probably not much point. The next most likely cause is possibly a firmware problem. It looks like we've got a UART header here. We've certainly got an I2C device here. So possibly the next step would be to put a UART on there and see if anything comes out. The caps all look good. They are KMG, never heard of them, and they look awful. And those look even worse. So yeah, I'm leaning to the point that, very short video, but this one's done. We need to go on the UART port, see if there's anything that we can see there, but the odds are on something like this that there isn't going to be. So this one is dead. So let's make this safe again. Over there. And I'll pause you again and we'll go grab another one. Right, we're back again with the big purple thing. This is an Extreme Networks, I believe it's an X450e-P, so this is a 48 port power over Ethernet switch. These switches are coming up quite cheaply now on eBay, and they are very good bits of kit. They're very resilient, they're incredibly programmable, and unfortunately they appear to have used some fairly nasty caps. I've already taken the lid off this one because there's some customer information on there, but these caps are not great. I've not seen any on this board actually fail. Yeah, they all look good. We've got one here that doesn't look wonderful, but I think that's just a cable that's moved that. They're Take-On. I've never heard of them before. I'm sure someone could say yes, they're a really good reputable cap brand, but the usual problems you have with large switches like this, incidentally. Let me grab my pokey stick. Assuming the caps haven't gone, these do. You quite often get these with very, very noisy fans. And most of them, it is a simple job to change. You've got a nut here, the screws through from this side, and then it is literally just, it is exactly the same pin out as a PC fan. So you've got your power supply, your ground, and your tacho. So they're quite changeable. Someone has been in here before by the looks. That looks like it's been disturbed, and there goes the focus. Okay, right. What we're going to do is, the problem with these is this board here. On the underside of this, there's a number of caps in this area. You can see there is quite a large switching power supply in there. These caps fail, and they make the whole thing behave, if assuming it even boots, it becomes incredibly erratic. So I'm going to pop you back in the stand. We're going to quickly whip this board out. There's no point in watching me do it. It's just 4 screws and a multi-connector. We'll get the board down on the bench and we'll have a look. The caps may not be failed on this one. The whole point I'm taking this apart is I've got 4 more of these for various projects that I know the caps are potentially dodgy. And we had a batch of about 25 of these, and almost all of them, these caps had gone. So when you've got a weak point like this, it's worth addressing it before you start thinking about putting these anywhere else. This switch is destined to go into a network, so we need to make sure we're not going to have any problems. So I'll just pause you, and we'll pull that board out. And we're off again. So this is the board, and you can see we've got 2 different brands of cap on here. So we've got our little switching power supply down here. These are the ones that fail, these green ones. I believe who that's Take-On again. I don't really know who they actually are. I've never heard of them before. And then over there we've got some other ones made by Nichicon. So quite why, what are those ones? Nichicon. So quite why, I mean, this is not a cheap bit of kit. This would have cost thousands of pounds. So why we've gone for Nichicon caps here, and it's telling that these are not Nichicons and these are the ones that fail. A quick look at these, and they do appear to be visually okay. Now, I could meter these now, take one out circuit, meter it out, and get an idea of what state it's in, and then replace it, or not replace it, as the case may be. But we know that these are such a failure point on these. These are going to get replaced. I'm not going to recap it for you now. I might come back and do the recapping as another video. The other thing that I just noticed in here is one of these things, this yellow thing here. This is a real-time clock which contains a lithium battery. Now, these were a big problem in things like Sun workstations, some high-end digital oscilloscopes and mixed signal oscilloscopes, older DEC equipment and things like that. They realised fairly early on that although they were a good idea, these things were lasting a lot longer. These ones are slightly different, these yellow ones, in that if you look down in there, just between those caps, there's two pins, and you can actually remove, that's a better view just there, you can actually remove that little yellow hat and replace it, or assumingly it wouldn't be too hard to reverse engineer that and replace it with just a plain lithium cell coin holder. So that was a good decision there to go with those. So that's it for this one. I don't really want to pull that Linksys one apart, because I think the Linksys one is just a software reset issue. I'll do a software reset and see if that solves the problem. If it doesn't, then maybe we'll get a teardown out of it. But for now, I'm going to find out the value of these, as I can't actually remember off the top of my head. We'll get some ordered. We'll get some good quality ones ordered in there. And then I've got at least 2 of these to do, as well as this one. So 3 total. But I think there may be another machine around as well that I will take a look at. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll get to see a recap video very shortly. Thank you.